Hello, I'm Joshua of Milestone Play, and I am a professional game master. Now, despite being a professional game master, the players are really the heart and soul of the stories we tell. So I wanted to give an opportunity for my players to share their favorite moments in our games.
The in-game story that gets called back the most, if only in my mind, was the casino heist.
Well, you know, one year at Gen Con, it's always a scramble to get events. And we got this, like, bottom of the barrel event that nobody else had picked. And so we're like, well, this will probably suck, but let's go.
You.
No, that's not true.
One good moment I remember was using my Storm Sorcerer ability to guide us through a sandstorm. That's something that stuck with me. It was an ability that I wasn't sure if I was going to get use out of, but I don't know, it felt like a minor thing that had a big effect upon the story itself, and I really enjoyed that.
We ended up signing up for what sounded like a really cool event, and then we go, and this DM there, he is amazing because he has an encyclopedic knowledge of the rules, and he's got, like, since we're playing in person, he has this map set up where we're fighting like some sort of tentacle horrors or something, and he's used pipe cleaners on the map so that he can actually entangle our characters.
They're so awesome.
Like on the board. He handed out these whenever somebody found a potion, he handed out this potion bottle that was a little glass stoppered flask with red hardened liquid in the bottom, so it gave the illusion of red liquid, and it had the appropriate number of D8s in there so that A, we always knew who was holding the potion bottle, and B, when you needed to use it, you just opened it and rolled the dice.
So that's so cool.
I know, some of the most ingenious, like, at the table type of play that I've ever seen.
The first thing I ever think of when I think of like moments like this is when my first character died, when Broxton died, and then like Josh asked me, he was like, well, you know, is there any particular way we wanted to put him out? And I was in the session, but I didn't play for like half of it, and you all had like a funeral for him and stuff, and then we had that little moment where like Broxton was in the clouds, and it was like the final goodbye for him. And then like it was really cool listening to it all because I couldn't put my two pieces into anything. Well, I give the information about how he was doing it, and like one of the old characters was there, and then. The cool thing about it is I remember that vividly, and it being such like a nice, like wholesome moment. And then you wrote about it all on your word anvil, and then I could reread it, and it sounded just as good in the words.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I think you mentioned it once before. Yeah.
Coupled with somebody who, A, really wants to encourage people to like explore the character and what they can do. Somebody who very much like sort of follows the rule of cool, without letting people like work around the rules, you know? And somebody who, yeah, man, pull out any spell from any supplement, you know, anywhere, and he's like, oh yeah, I know about that. Yeah, for sure. So we were just, you know, me and my friends were super impressed with Joshua and what he brought to the game. And so after coming back from Gen Con,
Which I wasn't invited to.
yeah.
But I heard about the amazing GM with the amazing things from not just Mark, but all the other people at the table who were invited.
Yeah, so we decided to start up a little remote game when I got back from Gen Con, and we've been doing it ever since. It's been a great time.
Poignant memory of Milestone 10 games is when my character died, Xanstar, in the Nine Hells. It was, I think, my first multiplayer death, and it truly shaped the rest of that campaign. So that's a poignant memory.
I really like playing with a party member who's not with us anymore, but just everything about playing with her, because she was new. She'd never played D&D before, and so she just wanted to try all these things that just totally, like, an experienced D&D player would be like, no, that's a terrible idea, but it made sense to her, and she would just do it with gusto and enthusiasm. That's really fun to play with new people. So that's my favorite bit.
That's one of the parts that I find the most fun is the unique ways we can come up with to get over a problem and even, as you know, I like to use the improvised weapons or tools. When we actually fought the Oni, and I threw a heavy metal robotic dog up in the air that latched onto it to bring it down so we could actually reach it and fight it. But we were in that one battle in the goblin stronghold there, and I jumped off the damn wall and put a ladder over two of them to keep them from moving. You know, that was a fun little trick. Those things like that really make it a fun game for me.
She just wanted to charm everybody. She was so excited about charm person. Like, there was somebody like we thought would probably be an ally anyway, but she's like, let's just charm them so we can get like extra help from them.
So I'll give you my most emotional moment while I was playing.
It was while I was playing my first character, Buck.
I really enjoyed making the backstory and adding all these layers of complexity to my character, and I'm gonna be honest, I forgot some of them.
Like when we were hitting like his story arc with his tribe that was enslaved in the jungle.
And we're playing the game, and things are going off left and right that are, you know, like should be in line with my character to be interacting with, and I'm completely missing them at every turn.
Your character was coming new into it at that point, the new character you were playing, right? But like, I don't know, everyone kind of like contributed to the moments and tried to, you know, meet my character's story where it was at, and I felt like, okay, everyone cared about what was happening.
And then we get all the way into this situation, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, I can't be doing this.
And that's when it kind of clicked for me, and I, for the first time, felt actually connected to what was happening, and I didn't think of the numbers and the systems, what we were doing, but when I thought of the game, I saw the characters in front of me.
I literally had to turn my back on the rest of the party as they're locked in combat, you know, death-defying, like fighting for their lives, and I switched sides. And I started basically attacking the allies of the party. And it was because I had written that character a certain way, and like regardless of the situation I had put myself up until then, I wanted to play him that way.
And that's when it really, you know, came together for me, and I felt like, okay, this is something I really want to play, right?
I was like almost shaking because of it's not easy to go against the group a lot of times, and they had no idea what I was doing, and I was trying so hard to play that part. It was so much fun.
Yeah. Well, part of your story arc was when my second character, when Sigismund, like properly joined the group.
Yeah.
When we had all your big stuff, and then it sort of helped get in.
Yeah. When we did the
Like the ritual.
exactly.
It wasn't that I was having to try hard. It was very effortless and extremely emotionally taxing, because most of the guys are like, what are you doing? And for me, it was like, I'm living my character, man. So that was fun.
You know, one of my favorite memories, he also has a donkey named Thunderhoof, which he has had to leave behind on many adventures because, you know, there's only so many places you can bring a donkey. But Marduk is very fond of his donkey, Thunderhoof. And I remember coming back from one of those adventures and going to visit him with his new adopted farm family. And just this scene with like Marduk sitting down next to Thunderhoof and like telling him, like going deep into the night, telling this donkey about all of his adventures.
A lot of it was like moments where Darren got to feel like the hero she was meant to be.
And the donkey, who obviously is a donkey, can't talk.
Excuse me.
You translate.
My character has speak with animals, and so did translate.
Mm-hmm. So
sat there like a third wheel, just translating between the two.
So Thunderhoof, you know, as Marduk was very excited, and Thunderhoof was just kind of like, okay, whatever. I don't know what any of those
More
words are.
cheese fries, Dad.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we sat there and fed him some carrots, and we had a nice talk long into the evening. That was a cute moment.
I think the best moments are when the teamwork inadvertently lines up into a killer series of turns, whether it just be general badassery.
It was on the Sand Cruiser when we all came together to fight through this giant desert creature. You know, I had to dual cast Haste and Bigsby's hand at the same time, and my character almost killed himself just to keep us getting crushed from tentacles. Vox's character was flying through the air with a battle axe, crushing tentacles that were trying to grab us and kill us. F's character was just beating off any attackers that came at us while we were on this boat, and Monkey Valen was just casting magic left and right, trying to support us. You know, Wolfgar had the water,
Yeah,
the endless water decanter he used to help speed our boat along. Just moments like that where we all come together as a team. Everyone's abilities work together in unity to make something happen that would have been impossible with just one person. You know what I mean? Things like that. That's something that stuck with me and will probably stick with me for a long time.
Good luck. A string of good luck is always a blessing at the table.
To talk about the Goblin Stronghold again, the I can't remember what it's called. The pitchfork, the Oni's.
The Kanabo.
Kanabo.
Yes.
When I knocked out like half the goblins with the ability, because it had an ability that everyone forgot about, and I was just looking through my sheet for anything that could pull us out of the situation. I was like, wait a second, they're all pretty bloody from like damage, aren't they? Let me just slam this on the ground and as a Hail Mary, and it worked.
I also believe that was the first section we had where Jorg really got the fireballs going, and you just annihilated
I think that's what knocked them into range for
hordes
Kanabo.
of them.
Yeah. So I remember that. I remember that roleplay moment where your character was about tapped, and I think she did that. Like she was almost done, like exhausted.
Again, no, I was definitely like a single digit
Yeah,
HP,
yeah.
no spell slots.
Yep. That was a shining moment. That was cool. Yeah.
My character Astrid had suffered a terrible loss and was leaning on the parent that she had left, who was not a good mother, but was also actively working against her and the party's goals. So I was able to deliver the final blow in combat, and because I was of the appropriate level of the correct subclass, I was able to erase her as an accursed specter and delivered her to a very dark entity who wanted her soul because she was actively working against his interests as well.
Definitely Wolfgar's freaking ending when we all died through the power of friendship.
Don't trust the power of friendship. Listen, it sounds great, okay? Like, put our hands together, we'll get through the no. When it's time to go, you go. The power of friendship is not going to get you through this dice roll. Leave. It was whatever. It was the. I'm sorry, you asked for the memory, not that. It was whenever we were fighting that the Mummy Lord.
Trying to like hold aggro against that bloody Mummy Lord.
In our first campaign, we had to close the portal to the Far Realm, or wherever it was going, to block off Marnusht, he who devours. And we killed the Mummy Lord, but we were really, really struggling with this portal. And like, we had the option of walking away, but I was like, let's put our hands together, come around this big circle, and we can just make it go away. And we did, but we also went away.
Had that one last session kind of wrapping everybody's stories up though.
And then the ending was really poignant.
That twist ending gut punch was wonderful, beautiful. Made me emotional. And that's not, something that happens a lot.
As I was walking a specter up to this ancient evil, I just kind of held her by the hand and patted her on the shoulder and said, "It's okay, Mama, it's time to go," and sent her soul off to be consumed.
I was over there, tears in my eyes from it, so definitely that.
A fond memory, but also a very hurtful one. I love it.
Or everything works out in a good fashion. I think those are when I'm smiling the most. Hiding behind the screen on Discord.
Thanks for watching the video. It was made with the support of our patrons over on Patreon, where you can see behind-the-scenes content and the development of our own TTRPG systems. If you're looking to join a game, head on down to the description where we have a link to our Discord. You can join long-form campaigns, short mini-series for bite-sized narratives, or quick dips into systems you don't want a long-term commitment to, or you can join our Tower of Taziok. Tower of Taziok is a 5th edition infinite dungeon with roguelite elements, legacy play, and downtime synchronous with the real world. After you form a house of patronage, every week that passes in your life, your character gets a week of downtime. Everything else you can check out milestoneplay.com. And yeah, thanks for watching. Let's get going.